Yeah.
Okay, ready?
All right. What's up, everybody? This is the Long Story Short Show. We got another discussion for you. If you guys don't know, we like to take a couple lists from the, random places on the internet, whether it be like anime stuff, comic stuff, TV stuff. And today we're talking about the top 10 best moments in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so far.
Top 10 best moments?
So this is in the first 100 episodes. So this is like halfway through season 5, something like that. It's approved for season 6 and 7. And we just saw that Coulson is going to be in Captain Marvel. So let's see if we could see some of, like Coulson's best, like some of his highlights and stuff like that. So, I thought that would be fun to talk about that. So,
they better talk about Simmons being on another planet.
Okay.
They better talk about Evil Fitz.
Yeah, definitely.
In the mainframe. They gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
They gotta talk about Coulson.
What about the Cavalry?
Oh, they definitely gotta talk about Cavalry from season 1.
All right, so
okay.
Ready?
This is from like 10 to 1 or 10 to 1.
What do you mean?
Are we starting from like the least
you never
amazing?
So we're supposed to start with the most amazing and go backwards.
Well, no.
What list does that?
That's true.
Okay, number 10. Agent May wields the Asgardian staff. Obviously, this is season 1. Actually, before I get started with number 10, let me say that this was made by ScreenRant, Thomas Bacon. So last year in March.
Thank you, Mr. Bacon.
So thank you, Mr. Bacon. The best moments in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so far, brought to you by ScreenRant. So number 10, Agent May wields the Asgardian staff. So this is in season 1. So what it says is, season 1 tended to tie into the movies a little too much. Still, one of the most effective tie-ins was The Well. It saw Coulson and his team hunt down an Asgardian staff weapon. Anyone who wielded this staff became a berserker, and it was being used to cause riots in Scandinavia. Holding a third of the staff left Ward tortured by visions of his past. I kind of remember that.
Yeah. Oh.
That's when we kind of first started. I think we started finding out that his dad was abusive
beating
or something like
that.
Yeah,
he was definitely beating him and his brother, and he always put them against each other, made them fight and stuff.
Yeah. So impressively, although the episode teased Ward's demons, it somehow still avoided revealing his greatest secrets. Toward the end of the episode, the story took a twist. May took up not a third of the staff, but the whole weapon. Incredibly, she proved able to wield it without effect. So, later, Ward asked May how she resisted the pain of what she's seen. In a haunting character moment, May explained that her regrets were always with her. She faces them every day when she wakes up. So, badass. That's when we hear kind of, you start whoa, what the fuck's going on with May? Because I think her and Ward were the best parts of season 1.
100%, and they had that little romantic relationship going on as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of made us want to know more about them, because it's whoa, why are the two most mysterious people on this staff together? What's going on there?
Yeah, and I remember, season 1 definitely tied in a lot, almost too much to the movies, and so they definitely fixed that in season 2 going on. Yeah. I recommend a lot of people, if you haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., just jump to season 2, and then, or actually, last 2 episodes of season 1, and it pretty much summarizes it all up for you. But that will lead us to number 9. Terrigenesis, season 2.
Yep.
So, when Stan Lee came up with the idea of mutants, it was really because he'd become tired of writing origin stories. With mutants in play, he no longer needed to imagine radioactive spiders, super soldier serums, or cosmic ray bombardment. Superhuman powers were just triggered by fluke of genetics. For Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the inhuman gene would come to a similar function. So, basically, people could have random powers, and they just chalked it up to them being Inhumans. That all started with What They Become, the season 2 episode that saw Daisy undergo Terrigenesis. This was essentially a death and resurrection scene for the character Skye, the hacker who longed to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, died. She was replaced by a Daisy, aka Quake, who would effectively become S.H.I.E.L.D.'s lead superhero.
And I totally remember that too, because it was her and a second dude, and they went in there together to try and save somebody else.
That wasn't Mac. It was Trip, something like that.
Trip. Yeah, Trip was so dope too. And so like they went in there together to save somebody else, like a third party. And then there was a blast. Yep. And that's why how both of them got hit with the Terrigenesis, and they both technically went into the cocoon, but if you're not an Inhuman, you just die. Yeah. So that's why he just turned into ash.
He did turn to ash, and then she kind of quaked her way out of the cocoon.
Yeah.
That was badass. That's so when we were like, oh, damn, we're going to get powers in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
That was so cool.
Before that, I think it was just Deathlock.
But that was also a good point about how that's a big character development for her, because before that she was Sky and like the hacker, and she was like in like the black side, like not illegal side, but she definitely wasn't like for the government and for like government groups.
She was a definitely anti-hero when she was Daisy.
Sky.
Sky, yeah. She started Sky when she was a hacker. She thought she was orphan. After she like met her dad and found out she was a human, she was like, oh, my name's Daisy.
Yeah, and so she just started going by that instead. Yeah. But
and in the comics, her name's Daisy Johnson. So I mean, Quake.
I mean, it was kind of a fluid transition to her being like, my name's Daisy, and she was like very forceful about it. So no one really like complained, I think.
All right, nice. So number 8.
They gotta talk about Ward.
Grant Ward's betrayal, season 1. Fans have spent the first half season complaining that Brett Dalton's Grant Ward was simply too good to be true. It wasn't unusual to see reviews argue that no secret agent and assassin could ever be so nice a person. Ward just seemed to break fans' ability to suspend their disbelief. Then, in a dramatic twist, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. revealed that Ward had been an agent of Hydra all along. The Ward fans had seen in the first half of season 1 was nothing more than a mask. He really had been too good to be true. That was precisely the point. Even more impressively, S.H.I.E.L.D. revealed in the last second twist, Hydra seemed to have been defeated, and the fans were beginning to wonder what would come next. Then, in the final sequence of Turn, 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 Ward shot down some S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, murdered Victoria Hand, and rescued the key Hydra leader, John Garrett. It was an unforgettable moment that would reshape the whole series.
Oh, and
fuck yeah!
Don't forget that he put Fitz and Simon in that pod and then left them to die.
And after that, like fucking Fitz was brain damaged and he had like a stutter and like, memory problems and stuff.
He had to relearn how to do everything.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! And
the best part of season 1, I would say, was like Ward's turn.
Now that like.
God damn.
You need to watch season 1 just for that character development alone. Because
I thought that was the end of the first thing. That was like, I guess, the halfway point.
That was literally the whole 12. First season. So it was so good. And for me, I never like questioned Ward. Like I was definitely against the grain on that. I actually believed he was good the whole time. So when he did do that betrayal, it was definitely a big shock.
Yeah, man. Ward was a badass. And then when he became Hydra, he was even more
badass.
Oh,
my goodness. And then when he got like
let's see. But the fact was, Victoria Hand, she was in the comics. So she was like the liaison between S.H.I.E.L.D. and the government and the Avengers.
She was cool, too. I liked her a lot.
I thought she was going to be around for a while. And she actually was a Skrull when they did the secret invasion kind of thing. So I thought she was going to be around for a while, but then he just straight up killed her. So it's like you really don't know what's going to go on in any of these shows. No. So if you just got here, this is the Long Story Short Show. This is our discussion series. We're talking about the top 10 events, moments, whatever that happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So
number 10 was Agent May picking up the staff.
Yep.
Dope.
And we're on number 7 right now. So number 7, Gemma Simmons, Agent of Hydra, season 2.
Oh yes.
So season 2 kicked off with a mystery. Where is Gemma Simmons? Fans briefly thought she was still with S.H.I.E.L.D., but that turned out to be a hallucination conjured up by Fitz's damaged brain. See what I tell you? Dialogue revealed that Simmons had left, unable to handle Fitz's brain damage. Finally, the teaser for Making Friends and Influencing People began to answer those questions. It was an effective sequence with Simmons seeming to have embraced civilian life. The music choice was inspired by Then the camera panned to the wall of Simmons' workplace and revealed that she was working for Hydra. I remember that sequence. Okay, so what happened was Simmons was just going through her like day-to-day stuff. She was in the lab. You're like, okay, so she's still with S.H.I.E.L.D.
It was like a day with Simmons,
yeah, she walks around the corner and it's just a Hydra symbol. And you're like, what the hell is happening in season 2 of S.H.I.E.L.D.? That was dope. That was crazy.
And like vice versa of like questioning Ward, I never thought Simmons was on Hydra. I'm like, what the? I thought S.H.I.E.L.D. like broke down or like they like closed S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra like took over and she like had to do that for like a job or something.
That makes sense. Or just like some small company, like just some shitty hospital or something. I don't know. All right, so yeah, that was number 7. We're almost halfway there. Okay, so number 6, The Death of Grant Ward, season 3.
His first death or his second death?
Come on. It took 3 seasons for Grant Ward's story to come to an end. Ward had made so many enemies over the years. He'd secluded May, dumped Fitz and Simmons in the ocean, and messed with Daisy's head. But when he killed Coulson's lover, he earned an enmity, I don't know what that means, of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s director. What followed was an intensely personal confrontation on the cursed planet Mavith. The sequence was a powerful one, with Coulson using his cyborg hand to literally crush Ward's chest. It was a fitting end to Ward, but it left fans with an uncomfortable taste in their mouth. Coulson had just crossed the line. He hadn't killed for peace or justice, but out of a sense of vengeance and betrayal. In a fantastic twist, though, this action would return to haunt S.H.I.E.L.D. Ward's body was possessed by the inhuman parasite Hive. Coulson's act of revenge actually gave Hive a way back to Earth and almost led to humanity's destruction.
I remember how Coulson's first lady died. They were at dinner together talking about their future. They toasted and then this bitch drank and died.
Yep. Poison, because Ward thinks like 5 steps ahead, and then he's just straight up crushes him with his hand. No, that's
no. He punched.
No, he he crushed his chest. He put his hand on his chest, and it was his robot hand, so he just pushed in his chest plate. And then I guess when Hive took him over, it just like killed him, because I don't know, healing ability maybe.
Well, it was a monster alien,
yeah, so
that's how those things go.
Anything. So number 5. Enter Mockingbird, Season 2.
Yes!
Fans were thrilled when Marvel announced that Adrienne Palicki would be joining the cast of S.H.I.E.L.D. Not only was Palicki rightfully viewed as a phenomenal actress, she was playing Bobby Morse, better known as the superhero Mockingbird. What nobody had expected, though, was for Morse to be introduced as Hydra's security chief. It wasn't hard to guess that she was an undercover operative, and that that was confirmed when she rescued Simmons from a bunch of Hydra agents. This was one of Marvel's first hallway scenes, showing Morse cutting through a swath of Hydra ranks and files. It was vaguely reminiscent of Black Widow's stunts in Iron Man 2, setting Morse a cut above the rest of the cast in terms of action. Basically, the first time we saw Bobby Morse, she was doing badass shit in the hallway.
Badass. The worst thing that they did for her and her character was bring her ex-husband.
Yeah, whoever the fuck that guy was.
Loser. Like
the British dude. That guy was a fucking loser. That guy
Once
sucked.
they brought him in, her character and her character development and all her badassness went away.
Yeah, because he has to tell his one lines. That shit sucks. Yeah, Bobby was badass. She had a thing right here though. I didn't know what that was all about. Yeah. Number 4. Quake Goes Rogue, Season 3. Remember the beginning of Season 3? Quake had all black hair. The shit was long. She hated life. She hated everybody. So, in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Chloe Bennett noted that Season 3 was the end of the first book of S.H.I.E.L.D. The season closed with a fascinating scene, one that teased a whole new direction for the show. It was 6 months after the events of Season 3 and revealed that Quake had actually gone rogue. She was blamed for everything from bank heists to destroying bridges. Even more astounding, Coulson was back as a field agent and he and Mac were hunting down Daisy. I remember that. It was an effective tease and left fans eager for Season 4.
She stole money one time because this bitch is broke. And then they started blaming her for everything else. That's how it happened.
It was one of the coolest scenes to date. With Daisy using her powers to allow limited flight for the first time, that made this sequence a power-up for the character who's become S.H.I.E.L.D.'s own superhero. Yeah. So, I remember this was at the end of season 2. Because end of season 3. This was at the end of season 3 because at the beginning of season 4 is when she met Ghost Rider. Yeah, because she was all the way over there on the West Coast in LA and everything like that.
Yep.
I did like. I
trying to be low key.
Yeah.
Just try to just live differently, not be part of a team.
Yeah, I liked Mac and Coulson hanging out. Like I like that buddy cop, that 1-2. Like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. You dragged me into this.
That's
and Coulson
the most
was like,
action Mac was getting. Was when he was hanging out with Coulson.
Fuck yeah.
And they were being buddies.
And that's when he had a shotgun. All right, so we actually only got 3 more, everybody. The next one, number 3, is The Spy's Goodbye. By season 3, Bobby Morse and her ex-husband Hunter have become major characters. Oh, I know which one this is.
Hunter.
So much so that Marvel believed that they could become stars of their spin-off and went so far as to write them out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In hindsight, it was a mistake. ABC passed on Marvel's Most Wanted.
I'm glad they said that.
His name was Hunter.
Yeah.
The season 3 episode Parting Shot was essentially a goodbye story for Morse and Hunter. The 2 agents prevented a rogue Inhuman gaining control of Russia, but they did so at the cost of their own cover. It took all of Coulson's best efforts to get them out of jail, but they could never work for S.H.I.E.L.D. again. At the end of the episode, Hunter and Morse settled down in a bar to share a drink and decide what to do next. That was when someone brought them a drink. Simmons sat at a nearby table. It turned out that the whole S.H.I.E.L.D. team were on hand, and each quietly bought them a shot. Bobby recognized this as the spy's goodbye, a farewell from friends who could likely never speak to them again.
I remember that scene very vividly. Like, it was like the bar of no name, like, and everyone's sitting on just different sides of the bar, and they're all just like toasting one by one. That was such a sad moment.
Yeah, I didn't like Hunter, so I didn't care. I was like, bye.
I didn't care for Hunter.
I was like, you're a bad spy. You talk too much. You're like Archer, but I don't like
I didn't care for Hunter at all. But the fact that Bobby was there before Hunter and she had all those cool moments and cool bonding like times with the rest of the team.
Like you had her and May hanging out, then you had her and Yeah, you had a lot of stuff going on.
Like her and Sky hung out for a good minute because they were both like kind of new, and that's when Sky was like still in her like little transition thing, so she's still kind of figure out what her personality is. So like Mockingbird didn't judge her at all. She just like let her be.
Yeah, she's like, I got other shit going on. Number 2, Quake versus Ghost Rider, season 4.
Oh.
Of course, there was a lot more to season 4 than Daisy going rogue. Fans soon learned that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was about to debut a whole new Ghost Rider, Gabriel Luna's Robbie Reyes. Expectations were high for the season premiere, The Ghost, which soon saw Quake and Ghost Rider go head-to-head. It's something of a superhero tradition for heroes to fight one another when they first cross paths, and S.H.I.E.L.D. was happy to oblige.
Yep.
Fans were spellbound, not least because of the quality of the show's special effects. Marvel spared no expense in creating this new Ghost Rider, rendering him more effectively than any of the Ghost Rider movies. That did limit Marvel a little, and they swiftly had to write Ghost Rider out due to cost. He ultimately returned in the season finale.
You could definitely tell with season 4 how they spent their money, because the episodes kind of seemed like they were in like miniseries.
Yeah.
Because with her being
chunks of like 6. Yeah.
With her being Rogue and Ghost Rider, that was like one chunk, and then there was like a different chunk, and then him.
And then you had like the chunk of like that lady senator and the Inhumans. Then they hate the Inhumans, and then you had like the last chunk where like
with Mac.
And then that was like pre-framework.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had like them take out the guy, and that like built into that gave us Ada. And then Ada season 5.
Oh wait, Coulson was Ghost Rider for a little bit too, right?
I think so, maybe. At like the very end, for maybe like 5 seconds or something like that.
It wasn't like long at all,
but
yeah, that was definitely good. And they were smart to do that, because they know that if they went cheaper on that, it would have looked really bad on TV.
Yeah, and they definitely opened up with a killer for sure. The number one top moment.
I didn't want to ruin it, but go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Number 1, The Death of Hope, season 4. Season 4's final pod was centered around virtual reality, known as the Framework. While most of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s team were glad to leave this reality, which was ruled by Hydra, Mac was the exception. He learned that in the real world, his daughter Hope had died years ago. Even though Mac knew Hope wasn't real, he simply couldn't leave her behind. Then, in a heartbreaking twist, Ada began to shut down the framework. It all came to a head as Mac cradled his beloved daughter in his arms, desperately hoping not to lose her. Then, in a split second, she was gone. Henry Simmons played the scene perfectly, showing Mac's utter heartbreak. It was one of the most moving scenes there has ever been on S.H.I.E.L.D. and would leave his character scarred into season 5. These are just some of the... Oh, never mind. The last one was just like a summary. But yeah, so basically I remember
that one too. They had to like jump into like this whirling pool. Oh my god.
And then that's when season 5 is like when they go into space, and then he meets Flint, and so he tries to overcompensate and have Flint be his kid.
Yep.
But yeah, I remember everybody was like leaving. They're like, look,
that's when I really started hating Yo-Yo. That's when I really started hating Yo-Yo, because they told him multiple times, like, this is what it is, this is how it's gonna go. And they asked him multiple times, gave him multiple chances to leave, make his own choice and leave. And he said, no, leave me here. He did not care.
Yeah.
And Yo-Yo selfishly took him out.
Yep.
That's when I hated her. I was like, you could die now.
Yeah, and then she like lost an arm and leg and stuff. Whatever. We don't care, Yo-Yo. Fuck you.
Goodbye.
All right. So yeah, those are the top 10.
I'm upset. Why are we not talking about Simmons on an alien planet?
But what did she really do besides surviving? That montage though, that was a cool scene. Yeah, you're right. That was a cool scene. Like her being on there, like okay, like, you know, she lived and she came back. That was
like
cool.
I know it wasn't like one dramatic scene for that, but
I think they did have like a nice montage though. Yeah,
it was awesome. It's not like she just was there twiddling her thumbs, just like waiting. Like she was doing stuff.
Anything else you put on there? Anything else on the top? I'd be some of those Inhuman fights with Lash. I would there was a guy with the whip. Remember the guy with the chain who had the fire chain? And then after that we were like, yep, we're getting Ghost Rider soon. After they did that fire chain. What else?
That scene.
After S.H.I.E.L.D. actually disbanded at the very end of season 1, I really like that. But now we're I don't know. There's a lot of different parts of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that are really, really good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a good show that keeps evolving, and they keep learning from the mistakes that they make.
I am surprised they haven't talked about any of Fitz's like comebacks, because out of all the characters, he's the bounce back kid. Like they've always done some things where he's had to like overcome something. Yep. Like, I'm surprised that stroke was not on there at all.
Yeah, after he had a stroke and then he had memory blackouts, we learned about his dad and he was evil. We finally watched him and Simmons get past the hump, and then it all just went to shit. Then he had to go to the future, and now he's just gone. Like, Fitz is dead. Like, shit. Damn, man. Yeah, I wish they would have put more Fitz. This is I hope they bring back Fitz. I hope they treat Fitz like Ward. I'll be okay with that. If they
100%, like, give me a few more seasons with him, trying to bring him back, or like a bunch of flashbacks with him. That'd be really nice.
Anything. Treat him like the professor from the Flash show. But
yes.
That's the top 10 for this week, everybody. This is top 10 moments in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So hopefully you liked the show. If you had some moments that you agreed with us that should have been on the list, if you have some moments that you think should just be on the list, period, please let us know. Like, subscribe, and write down what you think. And my name's Corey.
And I'm Jen.
And we'll catch y'all later.